So I just finished making this Egyptian themed lightsaber. It is going to be predominantly brass. I do have a couple of parts that are aluminum, but mostly brass, and use 56% silver solder just for its strength. It turned out pretty good. So I wanted to make this for a long time. I had this idea of having all three crystals, the red, green, and blue, and have them all light up depending on which of the three LEDs you're using. So yeah, this is not NeoPixel. I had to revert to a Tricree just to make the crystal system work, which I'll show you here briefly. So this lightsaber it's heavy and it's pretty big, but I wanted to give it almost like a staff look. If you look closely here, I got this brass pipe that has this these cuts in here, kind of give it that staff look. And this is actually a antique button that I found on eBay, and that's brazen onto the lightsaber itself. And there's a lot of different types of pieces on here. I researched a lot of different looks, and this seemed to be the one that kind of stuck, and I'm very happy with the way it came out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to give you an idea. I'm not going to install the blade onto here because it's already hefty, and I don't have that much space to show you really how this all works, but you'll be able to see the Tricrees and what color they are emitting through the blade plug right now. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Kill keys right here. And what's nice about this as well, it's the SD card is really easy to get to. You'll see there's two screws, one here, one on this side. You unscrew those, and you pull this out, and the chassis is actually installed into this part right here. So when you pull it out, you'll see the wires are solid, so you don't have to worry about anything getting messed up while pulling it out. But you do want to be careful, just don't yank it too hard, because the wires are there, like I said, so you don't want to cause any issues there. So unplug it.
The time has come to honor our vows.
Install the screen here, which is nice, and your controls are right here, basically. Ignition switch and auxiliary switch right here. Turn it on. Alright, so right now, I'm going to turn off the light, just to give you a better idea. So you can see color here is going to be predominantly red with some green tones in it, and so the LEDs for the green and the red are currently on. If you press the auxiliary switch though, got a really cool effect there. And when you switch colors, let's see if I can get a good angle. See that flickering there? Now it's just completely red. And I'm gonna keep going forward. So now it's adding some blue. You can see that right there. We're slowly moving into a more blue dominant color. So you're going to start seeing the red flicker. Oops. And you see the red flickering there. Now it's completely off, and we're completely in the blues. So, and we can go into the green too to kind of give you an idea. So now it's activating some of the green, and you'll be able to see that there. And yeah, so you got all the features of the CFX. So you'll have the screen available.
Sound bank selection.
When you're selecting fonts, it tells you the name of the font. And
exit menu, games, system menu.
And yeah, you see the games there. I made another lightsaber video and I showed the games, so I'm not going to go through that right now, but you got games like Tetris, Pong, all that fun stuff.
System menu, SD card, audio player.
Oh yeah, I left in my, so I made a Thor hammer a while back, and I like to install this font on there because this is fun. Get hammer sounds and whatnot.
The Order 94, the Order of Nebula.
Crystal Focus.
Welcome, young Skywalker. There is still good in him.
So anyways, LEDs wise, so you have this LED that will pulse, and also the activation switch that will pulse, and then this guy stays on until you put the kill key on. This I left it like that so you know when the power is being used, and like I said earlier, it's super easy. Just put the kill key in there and your recharge port will cut power to the board, and that's also how you charge this guy. So, and we can go into a little bit of details here of this lightsaber. Let me turn the light back on. Alright, so as far as details, you'll see here, this is actually where all the wires are running through. It's a sleeve here. These guys don't actually have wires running through it, just for looks. I did not want to add too much detail in the bottom portion of the hilt, just because that's where you're going to be gripping it. The further up you go, the more active it is, and you know, you don't want to be putting your hands in the crystal chamber part. I'm going to turn this off real quick.
Look on you with my own eyes.
Because while these are solid, they're in there, there's a little casing that holds them in place. Any sort of hits to it or just gripping it too hard will probably dislodge them, but easy fix if that does happen. And yeah, you got the classic Egyptian scarab here. It's got wings on it too. And back here, I just wanted to add something interesting to look at in terms of adding more to the blade holder portion. So this is actually a lot of different things here. We got plumbing parts, you got a pipe here, parts of a pipe here, and just other mechanical parts that I just took apart and used to create this look here. So, but that's the quick rundown of this hilt. It was a lot of fun making this guy, and I'll be making more lightsabers in this style, so I'll just keep an eye out for those.